Hey, 49ers faithful. Welcome back to the channel with another deep dive into all the latest developments surrounding our San Francisco 49ers. Today's story is packed with drama, strategy, and some of the wildest moments of the season so far. And I promise you, it's a roller coaster that nobody saw coming. Now, if you've been keeping an eye on the NFC West, you know just how high the stakes have been, and this last matchup between divisional rivals was no exception. The tension was palpable from the opening whistle, and even though this wasn't a game that the 49ers played directly, it had enormous implication for the fight for the number one seed. Every single play, every turnover, and every point mattered, and the way things unfolded has left fans across the league talking, analyzing, and replaying the most jaw-dropping moments over and over again. The game opened with the Los Angeles Rams asserting dominance, clearly determined to make a statement. For the first three quarters, it looked like they had Seattle completely under control. The Rams were moving the ball efficiently, maintaining possession, and executing a game plan that seemed poised to crush the Seahawks defense. Matthew Stafford was precise in the pocket, finding his targets with laser accuracy, and Puka Nacua was unstoppable, making catch after catch and racking up yards in a way that reminded everyone why this Rams offense has been so effective this season. Their running game was on point as well, adding a balance that made their attack even harder to defend against. By the time the fourth quarter rolled around, it seemed like the Rams had built an insurmountable lead, putting up 30 points while Seattle had just 4 on the board. The narrative appeared set, a comfortable victory and a near-certain lock for home field advantage in the NFC playoffs. But that's when the game took a turn nobody expected. Seattle refused to fold, showing an incredible level of resilience. On the Seahawks' first big drive of the fourth quarter, they moved methodically down the field, only to have Sam Darnold throw a critical interception right in front of the goal line. The stadium, and frankly the entire football world, held its breath. Many were ready to write off Seattle entirely, expecting that mistake to seal their fate. But the Rams failed to capitalize. They went 3 and out, leaving an opening for the Seahawks that they would not let go to waste. Rashid Shaheed, a recent acquisition, returned a punt nearly 60 yards for a touchdown, igniting a spark that would completely shift the momentum of the game. Suddenly, a matchup that had looked like a blowout was now a one-score game, and the atmosphere was electric with possibility and disbelief. Seattle didn't stop there. On the very next possession, they executed a series of plays that demonstrated both precision and fearlessness. Darnold connected on a critical touchdown pass to A.J. Barner, pulling the Seahawks to within 2 points. The tension was almost unbearable, but the drama was far from over. A replay review revealed that a previous 2-point conversion attempt had been misjudged, turning what seemed like a failed try into a successful one, tying the game at 30 points apiece. The level of chaos and unpredictability in these final minutes perfectly encapsulated why football fans can't get enough of these high-stakes contests. Every possession mattered. Every decision by coaches and players was magnified, and the crowd was on its feet through nearly every second. Overtime only intensified the thrill. The Rams initially took possession and moved efficiently down the field, Puka Nacua again demonstrating why he's one of the most dynamic receiving threats in the league. With an 80-yard drive culminating in a touchdown, it seemed like the Rams would finally close the game in their favor and solidify their claim to the top seed. But Seattle had other plans. Demonstrating incredible composure and mental toughness, the Seahawks orchestrated a 9-play, 65-yard drive that ended with a series of plays no one could have predicted. Darnold, facing pressure and adversity, delivered a pinpoint throw to Jackson Smith and Jigba, scoring a touchdown that brought Seattle to the brink of victory. The moment was high drama, football at its finest, and the fans were completely caught up in the sheer improbability of what was unfolding. Then came the decisive 2-point conversion, a play that would go down in history. The Seahawks, using the same personnel but a completely new strategy, executed flawlessly. Sam Darnold found Eric Sard, completing the conversion and clinching an improbable, shocking, and thrilling 38-37 victory. This was a comeback that defied expectations, a game that will be remembered for its wild swings and the sheer audacity of Seattle's execution under pressure. Former Niners were directly involved in that critical play, adding another layer of intrigue and irony for San Francisco fans. It was the kind of finish that makes football so addictive, the kind of game where every fan is left talking about it long after the final whistle. For the 49ers, the implications are enormous. The loss by the Rams keeps the door open for San Francisco to claim the #1 seed in the NFC, provided they can continue winning their remaining games. The path is clear. Victories against the Indianapolis Colts, the Chicago Bears, and potentially a decisive matchup against Seattle in the final week could allow the 49ers to secure home field advantage through the playoffs. The season has reached a critical juncture, and every point, every yard, and every decision moving forward carries immense weight. Fans are on edge, analysts are recalculating scenarios by the minute, and the storylines are more compelling than ever. The mental toughness displayed by players like Darnold and the unpredictability of outcomes in games like this highlight why the NFL is so thrilling. Momentum can swing in an instant, and even the most dominant performances in the first 3 quarters can be undone by a combination of resilience, skill, and just a touch of fortune. For the 49ers, watching these developments unfold is both nerve-wracking and hopeful. Their quest for the top seed remains alive, and the drama of the NFC West continues to captivate everyone who follows the league. The potential matchup against Seattle in Week 18 promises to be one of the defining games of the season, with enormous stakes and a level of intensity that could rival anything we've seen this year. This season has already given fans countless moments of brilliance, heartbreak, and sheer unpredictability, and this game was a perfect microcosm of everything that makes football compelling. From turnovers to long touchdown drives, from strategic play calling to last-second heroics, the events of this matchup encapsulate the highs and lows of the sport in a way that leaves everyone on edge. The 49ers, sitting on the sidelines but fully invested in the outcomes, continue to watch, analyze, and anticipate what comes next, knowing that every result elsewhere can dramatically shift their path to the playoffs and potentially the Super Bowl. As we move deeper into the final stretch of the season, the stakes of the 49ers could not be higher. Every play in every remaining game carries monumental implications, not only for playoff positioning, but for the mental edge that comes with being able to control your own destiny. The drama of the NFC West has been intense all season, but what unfolded in this last clash between the Rams and Seahawks elevated the tension to an entirely new level. For San Francisco, it is a delicate balance of opportunity and pressure. They know that a flawless performance in the next few games could secure them the coveted #1 seed and home field advantage. Yet any slip-up could open the door for Los Angeles or even Seattle to challenge for supremacy. It is a scenario that tests not just the talent of the roster, but the resilience and composure of everyone in the organization, from players to coaches to staff. Looking at the remaining schedule, the path forward is both daunting and exhilarating. The 49ers will first face the Indianapolis Colts on Monday night, a game that demands focus and execution at every level. The Colts are a team that can exploit even the smallest mistakes, so San Francisco must bring their A game from the opening snap. Every defensive scheme, every offensive adjustment, and every special teams play will need to function with precision. The 49ers have shown throughout the season that they can rise to the occasion, but the stakes in this matchup are unlike any other because the outcome could directly influence their playoff positioning and the potential for a historic home field run. Following the Colts, the 49ers face the Chicago Bears in Week 17 on Sunday Night Football, another challenge that tests both physical and mental endurance. Playing on a national stage adds an extra layer of pressure, but the 49ers thrive under the spotlight. This is a team that has consistently found ways to adapt to adversity, whether it be injuries, turnovers, or unexpected momentum shifts, and that adaptability will be crucial in these final games. Every yard gained, every tackle made, and every play called will be analyzed, scrutinized, and celebrated by fans who understand how pivotal these moments are. Finally, Week 18 could potentially bring a showdown against the Seahawks, a team that has already shown it can defy expectations in spectacular fashion. The Seahawks' recent comeback victory illustrates just how dangerous they are, even when the odds seem stacked against them. For San Francisco, preparing for a game like that requires not just tactical planning, but a psychological edge. Understanding the mindset of the opposition, anticipating their strategies, and maintaining composure in high-pressure scenarios will be critical. The 49ers have the talent to execute, but they must combine that talent with focus, discipline, and an unshakable belief in their system. The ripple effects of the Rams' shocking loss cannot be understated. Not only does it inject life into San Francisco's hopes for the #1 seed, but it also creates a fascinating scenario where every result across the division could dramatically shift the playoff landscape. Fans are now calculating permutations, discussing matchups, and imagining the possibilities of home field advantage leading all the way through the playoffs and into the Super Bowl. Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara could host the most important games of the season, and the chance to avoid travel and play in a familiar environment is a tremendous incentive for the 49ers to maintain their focus and intensity. Every practice, every game plan, and every adjustment carries significance, because the margins at this point are razor thin. The mental resilience of the roster will be put to the ultimate test. Sam Darnold's performance for Seattle in that last game is a testament to how mental toughness can shift the momentum of an entire contest, and it serves as a reminder for the 49ers that focus and execution are everything. Mistakes can be costly, and yet opportunities can emerge from moments that seem impossible. San Francisco's leadership, both on and off the field, must instill a sense of calm under pressure while encouraging the type of aggressiveness and creativity that can turn a critical play into a game-changing moment. Veteran players will be relied upon to set the tone, and younger players must rise to the occasion, knowing that their contributions could make the difference between securing the top seed and facing a more challenging road in the playoffs. Every aspect of the team's preparation matters now. Offensive coordinators are reviewing film tirelessly, looking for tendencies in opponents' defenses that can be exploited. Defensive schemes are being fine-tuned to shut down explosive plays and force turnovers in high-leverage situations. Special teams units are drilling relentlessly, understanding that a single big return or a well-placed punt can completely alter the flow of a game. This is the time of the season where marginal advantages become critical, and the 49ers are leaving nothing to chance. The culture of accountability, preparation, and execution that has been cultivated over the season is now being tested on the highest stage, and the results of these efforts will determine the team's path forward. Fans are experiencing the season on a heightened level of intensity. Every score, every play, every decision by coaches and players is scrutinized and debated, because the stakes have never been higher. Social media is buzzing with analysis, predictions, and heated discussions, and the collective anticipation of the fan base mirrors the tension on the field. San Francisco supporters understand that the playoffs are about momentum as much as talent, and that every game from this point forward is a test of the team's ability to handle pressure, seize opportunities, and respond to adversity. The remaining schedule is both a challenge and an invitation for the 49ers to define their season in spectacular fashion. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. ESPN has confirmed a move that could shake up the NFC landscape. The San Francisco 49ers have reportedly reached an agreement with All-Pro safety Justin Simmons, now a free agent. While nothing is officially finalized, sources suggest that the 49ers are positioning themselves to add one of the league's most versatile and dynamic defensive backs to their already formidable roster. Simmons, known for his intelligence on the field, ability to read offenses, and leadership in the locker room, could be the missing piece that elevates the 49ers' secondary to elite status. Speculation is rampant about what this signing would mean for San Francisco's defensive scheme. Head coach Kyle Shanahan, whose offense often steals headlines, has long relied on a defense capable of creating turnovers and forcing momentum-changing plays. Simmons, a player with a knack for both interceptions and tight coverage, fits perfectly into that mold. Analysts are already debating whether the 49ers will adjust their formations to maximize Simmons' range, potentially shifting him closer to the line of scrimmage on certain packages or letting him patrol deep zones where his instincts can shine. Of course, the implications ripple beyond just X's and O's. The 49ers have been aggressive in free agency recently, signaling a willingness to invest in players who can make an immediate impact. Simmons' reported deal could set a precedent, encouraging other high-caliber free agents to consider San Francisco as a landing spot. Fans are buzzing about the potential matchups against NFC powerhouses. A Simmons-led secondary could alter the dynamic in games where tight coverage and quick decision-making are crucial. Meanwhile, other teams are likely watching closely, pondering how this move affects their own roster strategies. Could this spark a domino effect in the secondary market? Could rival defenses scramble to counter a 49ers squad suddenly brimming with talent at multiple levels? Rumors are already swirling about what this means for contract negotiations around the league, and whether Simmons' presence could tip the balance in what promises to be a highly competitive conference. Though nothing is yet official, the excitement surrounding the 49ers and Justin Simmons is palpable. If the deal comes to fruition, the team could be positioning itself not just as a contender, but as a squad with the defensive firepower to challenge any opponent. Fans and pundits alike are left imagining the possibilities. A team with a lethal offense complemented by a newfound defensive backbone. The NFL rumor mill is alive and well, and this potential signing is fueling every conversation. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.